You know, very few times have I ever said that a movie is better than a book just because the book just plainly sucks.
Janine's never gonna stop coming after us. It's time we fight back.
We don't have the numbers.
We will. This is factionless? This is insane.
Insurgent is directed by Robert Schwentke and stars Shailene Woodley, Theo James, and Kate Winslet. This is the follow-up to last year's Divergent, and in this film we follow Tris and Four dealing with the loss of the first film and also trying to take down Janine Matthews, who is growing a lot more powerful. To start, this movie did the smartest thing it could possibly do. It distanced itself from the book. While the first movie was very similar to the book, it was very much like a book-to-film adaptation that was very tight. This was a much more loose adaptation. I've only normally scorned a looser adaptation. This was pretty much the only way to make the movie good because the book was not good. Yeah, the book was complete trash. So I actually, in this case, I support a really loose adaptation because that's what needed to be done. And they did that loose adaptation while they added some really interesting storylines and cut out the storylines that were really unnecessary of the second book. This movie also used more of the talent involved than in the first film. While the first film benched a ton of really young up-and-coming actors and gave them small roles with really nothing to do, in this film they got a bit more to do, which was really interesting to see them handle that. Miles Teller and Ansel Elgort, both breakout movie actors of this last year, both fantastic in their respective movies. Whiplash and The Fault in Our Stars were able to showcase more emotion in this film, whereas they were sidelined in the previous film and they had really big roles in the movie. Speaking of performances, Shailene Woodley was very good in the movie. However, her character was very crybaby-ish in the beginning of the movie. That annoyed me. This happened to a lesser extent in The Hunger Games Catching Fire, where attempts to show vulnerability go way too far. This is definitely a problem in the movie, one of my major problems with the film. And the fact is, it seems to happen in all these young adult movies, you know. Oh my gosh, my man has to come in and do everything. I just want to see Tris kicking butt. I don't want to see anything more than that. Theo James was also solid in this movie. He held his own. Kate Winslet could have been better and was not very intimidating as the villain of this movie. Of course, it's so intimidating, the girl in the secretary outfit and she's running lab experiments. That's like so intimidating. That's like Darth Vader, right? I mean, Miles Teller was also funny in the movie. He showcased some awesome comedic timing. And while Ansel Elgort also showed more emotion in his role as well. However, in the whole movie, there was really no one standout performance. There was no real standout acting, whereas in other fantastic young adult movies, for example, Harry Potter or The Hunger Games, there were standout performances from the leads. And even in the first Divergent, there was more of a standout performance from Shailene Woodley. So that is slightly worrying that the film is going away from that sort of trend that's working so much in young adult movies nowadays that are good in that respect, really solid performances from the leads. And Shailene Woodley, she was good in this movie. She just didn't bring that same sort of emotion that she brought in the first film. And overall, while the film did distance itself from the book, and I'm happy I did that, some of the problems were the same. First half of the film, Shailene Woodley's character becomes too much of a damsel in distress, especially towards the middle of the film. While it was cool to see more of this world and you got more invested in the world created, this was a much more rewarding endeavor than the first film. But it was still not necessarily something I would write home about, unlike The Hunger Games or Harry Potter or other young adult adaptations that have recently come out. But it is a solid movie. It is something I definitely tell people to check out on rental. If you like the books, this is definitely one to see, and it overall deserves a B+. Alright guys, so make sure to check out my other shows. Teen Talk Movies is one of them. That's on youtube.com/landmarkfilm. Make sure to check out my other reviews. I just reviewed Cinderella. That should be up as well right now. So make sure to check out all of my reviews and everything. Thanks guys. Bye.